Hello, my name is Livy. Thank you for joining me today for this 45-minute Vinyasa practice. We've got a fun one today. We're going to be working with lots of twists, back bends, having a play with our crow pose. So yeah, just have fun with it and let's get started. So we are going to start laying down on our backs in a reclined butterfly position. So popping feet together and knees wide. If you have some blocks, you're welcome to put some under your thighs or knees just to offer some support on the hips, and then just opening the arms out wide and straight away settling into our breath. So as you breathe in, let the belly expand, and as you breathe out, let it contract. Just finding some nice deep belly breaths here. You're welcome to close down the eyes. And then maybe start to see if you can engage with your Ujjayi breath. So breathing through the nose as you constrict the throat, making an ocean or hissing sound. And try to stay with that Ujjayi breath throughout the practice today until Shavasana at the end. We'll then take 3 deep breaths together here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. So breathing in and big sigh out. 2 more, big inhale and release. Last one, big breath in and exhale. Returning to your natural breath. You can open the eyes if you haven't already. Just separate the feet mat distance apart, and we'll windshield wipe the knees from side to side. And at the same time, interlace the fingers, start rolling up the wrists. And then lengthen your left leg out long, hug your right knee into chest, give it a tight squeeze to breathe in. Exhale, twist it across the body, opening out your right arm, looking over that shoulder. And then returning to center, interlace the fingers around the back of your right thigh, pulling it into chest. Now keep that contact as you re-extend the legs, but it won't go fully straight here whilst we keep that contact. We'll then point and flex the right foot. For 1 more breath in. And exhale, right knee opens out to the side. Press down on the left side of your pelvis, opening up through the hips. And return to center. We'll take the other side. So left knee hugs into chest, tight squeeze to breathe in. Exhale, twist it across the body. Open out your left arm, looking over that shoulder. And then returning to center, hugging the left thigh into the belly, keeping that contact as you re-extend the legs, so it doesn't have to go fully straight. And then we're pointing and flexing our left foot. One more breath in. And exhale, left knee out to the side. Press down on the right side of your pelvis, opening up through the hips. One more inhale. And then returning to center, we'll catch our knees, draw them back and open to the armpits, and then just taking them apart in circles, massaging through the hips, changing directions every 1 or 2 rounds. And using a bit of momentum, roll up to a cross-leg position. We'll inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, fold onto the fingertips. Release the head and neck. Next breath in, rolling back up to a seat, hands behind. Press the hips forwards onto the knees, tuck the pelvis under. If it feels okay, release the head back. One more breath in. And exhale, switch the feet over so the other one's crossed in front and taking a fold again. Next, inhale, rolling up to a seat, hands behind. Press the hips forward onto the knees, squeeze the glutes, either chin tucked or release the head. One more breath in. And exhale, releasing back down, taking your feet nice and wide. Use the hands to push up into a malasana or a deep squat. You can find a bit of movement here, maybe taking a rock from side to side. Maybe you tap one knee down at a time. For another 3, 2, and 1. Release the hands. Heel toe your feet hip width to find a dangling fold. Hold onto your elbows. Take a nice bend in the knees to release belly to thighs. We can just sway side to side here, or even take a little bounce. Try to release any tension in the back of the neck. Keep the upper body nice and heavy. One more breath in. And exhale, release the hands. Inhale, root to rise, look up between the palms. Exhale, Namaskar Mudra, hands to heart center. We'll go through our Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, palms lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump to plank. Lower through or chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale into down dog. You can find a little bit of movement here in down dog whilst warming up. Maybe pedaling the feet. Maybe some nods with the head, yes and no's. Maybe reaching back opposite ankles one at a time. And we'll start to find some stillness here. So make sure you've got your hands about shoulder width. Fingers nice and spread apart. Fully relax the head, looking to the belly button. And then we're taking our gaze to the navel, drawing navel into spine, shifting hips up and back. The feet are about hip width, toes ever so slightly pointed in, lifting the kneecaps. See if you can put equal force into hands and feet, finding that equilibrium here. We'll hold for one more breath in. Exhale, look to your hands. Inhale, make your way there, taking a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. Separate your feet hip width apart, make sure they're parallel. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, twist to the right, but hold the pelvis still. Inhale, lift through center. Exhale, twist to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, once more each side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Lifting the arms back through center. We're going to grab a hold of our left wrist with our right hand and take a side bend to the right. Now don't let the ribs flare here. Try to keep them closed down to the hips. Relax your ear down to the shoulder. One more breath in. And exhale, clasping your left knee with your hands. Roll the shoulders back and down. Pointing the left toes, keeping the knee nice and high. Arms lift. One more breath in. Exhale as slowly as you can. Carefully step those toes back into our high crescent lunge. On the next inhale, back knee drops, cactus the arms, lift the chest, breathe in. Exhale, extend the front leg, twist to the right. One more inhale. Exhale, return your gaze ahead, both arms in front, untuck your left toes. We're going to see if we can balance on our left shin. So the right foot hovers up, maybe even just for a moment. One more inhale. And exhale, take it behind. We're going to start to hinge back, getting a little heat in the legs. And just start flicking the fingers and wrists here, warming up the forearms and the hands. For 3, 2, and 1. Take your right hand down to tabletop. Inhale, left arm opens. Exhale, thread the needle. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, thread. Last one, inhale. And exhale, hold it there. Really push into the ground with your right hand to deepen your twist. Rolling that right shoulder open. One more breath in. Exhale into tabletop, and then tucking the toes into our downward facing dog. One more inhale. Exhale, look to your hands. Inhale, make your way there, take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to heart center. And we'll take that other side. So make sure your feet are hip width again. Pull on your right wrist with your left hand. Side bending to the left. Engaging the core. Relaxing ear to shoulder. One more breath in. And exhale, clasping the right knee into chest. Shoulders back and down. Really lifting out from that left hip, standing tall. One more inhale. Exhale, point the toes, keep the knee high as you lift the arms. And then we'll slowly step the right toes back into our high crescent lunge. Next breath in, right knee drops, cactus the arms, lift the chest, inhale. Exhale, extend the front leg, twist to the left. One more breath in. Exhale, return your gaze to the front, arms out in front. Untuck your right toes. We're seeing if we can hover the left leg this time. I'm a little wobblier on this side. One more inhale. And exhale, shins down, about hip width. Coming into a supported camel. So hands around the lower back or just sitting above the glutes. We've got thumbs on the inside, fingers on the outside. Roll the shoulders back and down. Squeeze the elbows back towards each other. Start to tuck the pelvis to feel your hands supporting your back. Squeeze the glutes, pressing the hips forwards. If it feels okay, you can release the head back. One more inhale. Exhale, chin tucks first, and then lifting all the way up. Left hand plants the tabletop this time. Inhale, right arm opens. Exhale, thread the needle. 2 more. Inhale, lift. And exhale, thread. Last one, breathe in. And exhale, thread. Hold it there. Push into your left hand to deepen your twist. Rolling the left shoulder open. One more inhale. And exhale back into tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. We'll take some cat-cows here. So inhale to drop the belly, lift the chest, squeeze shoulder blades back. Exhale, push the floor away, round out the back, look to the navel. Just movement with breath at your own pace. You may want to take some circles with the spine, maybe side to side in crescent shapes. Just whatever the body needs. One more breath in. And exhale, tuck the toes, find a plank position. We're going to inhale as we lower the chest down, elbows drawn to ribs. Exhale, push back up. Inhale, lower all the way down. We'll find a baby cobra. Exhale, release. This time a little higher. Breathe in. Exhale, release. 2 more. Inhale. Squeeze the glutes. And exhale. Last one. Breathe in. Full expression. From here, take the thighs together. And then we're just going to roll side to side onto each hip. Just releasing a little bit of tension in the lower back. One more breath in. And exhale, tuck the toes, find your down dog. You may want to find some more length in the spine by lifting the heels, bending the knees and shifting the hips up, pressing the belly back towards the thighs, and then starting to re-ground the heels again. The legs don't have to go fully straight. The downward facing dog, and we'll focus on finding length and decompression in the spine rather than just fully extending our legs. On your next breath in, lift your right leg high, 3-leg dog. Exhale, crunch right knee to right elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right knee to opposite elbow. Hold it there. For one more breath in. Exhale, release that right leg out in front. And the left arm fully extends into our fallen triangle. Keep the hips high, right shoulder away from the ear, long through the neck. One more inhale. Exhale, lower the left hand down, tuck the left toes, right leg lifts, 3-leg dog. Scorpion the leg, bend into the knee, open up through the hip, and then step it between the hands. Right arm lifts, easy twist. Keep the back leg long, reaching through both arms, looking to fingertips. Now try to keep your gaze on the right fingertips as you lift up into a high twisted lunge. Once you're there, right hand meets your hamstring. Left arm lifts, exalted warrior. One more inhale. Exhale, frame the front foot. Left leg lifts, standing split. Try to press nose towards knee, relaxing the neck. On your next inhale, left knee taps behind the right, Shiva squat, lift the chest. Exhale, standing split. Inhale, squat. Exhale, lift. Last one to squat, breathe in. Step the left foot off the mat behind. Right arm lifts to a skater lunge. And then shuffle the left foot back to create some space. Our weight is going to go into our left hand and foot. Right foot steps behind towards the back of the mat into a wild thing. Right arm lifts overhead. One more breath in. Exhale, right hand down at the front, right toes tucked at the back. Left leg lifts, 3-leg dog. Step it to the outside of your hands. Lizard lunge, ground the right knee. We can lift onto the knuckles just to help lift the chest a little more. Take a breath in here. Exhale, tuck the back toes, pyramid fold, extend the legs, flex the front foot. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, fold. Next breath in, big step into our Malasana at the front of our mat. Elbows drawing knees apart. Lift from the crown of the head, shoulders back and down. One more breath in. Exhale, carefully release to the sit bones. Legs lift into Anavasana or boat pose. Shoulders back and down. The chest is lifted, but the ribs don't flare. They're close to hips. Reach through the fingertips, but take the shoulders back. One more breath in. And exhale, let's see if we can go hands free back into our Malasana. For one more inhale. Exhale, release the hands, jump to Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Straight to the other side. Left leg lifts, breathe in. Exhale, crunch to left elbow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, right elbow, hold it there. One more breath in. And exhale, extend the leg out in front. Right arm lifts and triangle. Keep the hips high. Long neck, shoulders away from the ears. One more breath in. Exhale, circle right hand down. Left leg lifts, three-legged dog. Scorpion the leg. Step it between the hands. Left arm lifts, easy twist. Keeping the right kneecap lifted. Really reach for those top fingertips. Now hold your gaze to the left hand as you lift up into your high twisted lunge. And then left hand floats to the hamstring. Right arm lifts overhead, exalted warrior. Keep the back leg straight. One more inhale. Exhale, windmill hands down. Kick your right leg up. Standing split. Pointing the right toes, squeezing the glutes. Nose towards knee. Inhale, Shiva squat, right knee taps behind left. Exhale to split. Inhale, squat. Exhale, split. Last one to breathe in, hold that squat. Right foot steps behind. Left arm lifts, skater lunge. Shuffle the right foot back to create some space. Weight into right hand and foot as you step the left behind, hips press high, wild thing. One more inhale. Exhale, circle the left hand down. Make sure left toes are at the back of the mat. Right leg lifts, three-leg dog. Step it to the outside of your hands. Ground your left knee, maybe lifting onto the knuckles. Lizard lunge to breathe in. Exhale, pyramid fold. Flex the front foot. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, big step forwards to our Malasana. We've got two options here. We can either stay here in our Malasana or have a little play with crow pose. So if you want to try crow, the way I like to set up is placing the middle fingers to touch near the top of our mat. Fingers then point out to point to the top corners. Make sure the fingers aren't flat. You want a little bend so the hands can be nice and grippy to control our weight. Lift onto the tippy toes. If you have blocks at home, it can help to put some blocks under the feet just to give us a bit of height to start with. I'm then going to bend into the elbows and draw them inwards. Create a shelf with the tricep, knees rest about halfway down. I keep my gaze ahead. Tip my weight forward into my fingertips and the feet will slowly start to lift. And start to squeeze my toes up towards the glutes. We'll then meet back in our squat. And carefully release down into Navasana. This time, legs and arms extend. See if we can keep them parallel. One more breath in. Exhale either into your squat or you can find your crow pose and maybe jump back from your crow to Chaturanga. Inhale into up dog. Exhale into down dog. Now we're going to repeat a small section of this flow a little bit faster. So inhale, lift the right leg. Exhale, thread it through to the left, fallen triangle. Left arm lifts, breathe in. Exhale, place it down. Inhale, scorpion the right leg. Exhale, foot between hands. Inhale, easy twist. Exhale, lift up from the fingertips. Inhale, left arm reaches overhead. Exhale, hands down, standing split. Inhale, left knee tucks behind, Shiva squat. Exhale, left foot behind. Inhale, right arm lifts, skate to lunge. One more breath in. Exhale, shuffle your left foot back, right foot steps behind. Breathe in, press the hips high. Exhale, right hand down, left leg lifts, three-leg dog. Step it to the outside of your hands, lizard lunge. Keep the back knee lifted this time. One more inhale. Exhale, flow through your vinyasa or head straight back to downward facing dog. That's where we'll meet. Inhale, left leg lifts high. Exhale, thread it through, fallen triangle. Inhale, right arm lift. Exhale, ground the hand. Inhale, scorpion the left leg. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, lift up from the fingertips. Inhale, reach back, exalted warrior. Exhale, hands down, standing split. Inhale, Shiva squat. Exhale, step the right foot behind. Inhale, left arm lift, skater. One more breath in here. Exhale, left foot steps behind. Inhale, press the hips high, wild thing. Exhale, hands down. Inhale, right leg lifts, three-leg dog. Exhale, step it to the outside of your hands, lizard lunge. Keep the back knee lifted. One more breath in. And exhale, flow through your vinyasa or make your way back to downward facing dog. We'll take a few breaths here. Maybe try consciously slowing your breath rate down. Return to your ujjayi breaths if you've forgotten about them. One more breath. And exhale, look to your hands. Inhale, make your way there, taking a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands to heart center. Lifting the arms up high. Pull on your left wrist with your right hand. Side bending to the right. Bend into the knees. And step the left foot behind and off the mat. Deepen that side bend. One more breath in. And exhale, arms stay high. Lift your left knee, point the toes. We're then going to extend that left leg out in front. Embrace the shakes. See how high we can hold that leg. One more breath in. Exhale, flex the foot. Sweep the leg back. Lower your chest. Warrior three. You can either keep your arms here or take hands to heart center. One more breath in. Exhale, right hand lowers to your mat or block if you have one. Roll the left hip open, flexing the foot to the side of the room. Left arm lifts into our half moon. Try fixing your gaze on a point. Pressing into your right big toe for stability. One more inhale. Exhale, start to bend into your right knee. Slowly step back, find your warrior two. So you've got right heel in center line with left arch of the foot. You've got shoulders over hips, right knee tracking out to pinky toe. And then steady your gaze over the middle finger. Next breath in, find your reverse warrior, reaching back. Option to lift your right heel. Option to wrap your left arm around the back. One more inhale. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Drop your back knee. Shift the hips back. Half split. I like to keep my hands wide. It just helps me keep my hips more square. One more breath in. Exhale, frame the front foot, tuck left toes, lift your back knee. Right leg shoots back, one leg plank. Keep the leg lifted as we lower all the way down onto our belly. And then catch the top of your right foot with your right hand. Breathe in, kick into the palm, lift the chest. We can use the left hand to help us. Another inhale, kick a little harder. Exhale, release, hands under shoulders. Push up into plank and then into down dog. One more breath in. Exhale, look to your hands. Inhale, make your way there. Taking a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart center. On to the other side. So pull on your right wrist with your left hand. Bend into the knees. Step the right foot behind to the side, bending to the left. One more inhale. Exhale, arms stay high. Right knee lifts. Point the toes. Try to keep the right knee high as we extend the leg out in front. Come back to your breath. One more inhale. Exhale, flex the foot, sweep it back, warrior three. We can either keep hands here or hold hands to heart center. Lengthen from the crown of the head, feel into all four corners of your left foot. One more breath in. Exhale, left hand lowers to mat or block. Roll your right hip open. Right arm extends into our half moon. By fixing your gaze on one point, steady your breath. One more inhale. And exhale, carefully step back into warrior two. Nice wide stance with the feet so we can find the depth in the front leg. We've got left heel in center line with right arch, left knee tracking out to pinky toe, shoulders in line with hips, strong arms level with the ground, but shoulders are relaxed. On your next breath in, reverse your warrior. We can either stay or lift the left heel. Maybe wrap right arm around the back. One more breath in. Exhale, frame the front foot. Drop your right knee. Shift the hips back, half split. I'm going to take my hands a little wider here. Keeping the left foot flexed. The left leg doesn't have to be fully straight. You can keep a little bend. One more inhale. Exhale, frame your left foot. Lift the back knee. Shoot the left leg back, throw one leg plank. Elbows drawn in as we lower to the belly. Keep the left foot up. Kick the left heel towards the glutes. Pressing into our left palm as we breathe in. To breathe through the nose, relax the eyebrows. Breathe in, press a little harder. And exhale, release down, hands under shoulders. Push up into a plank and then into down dog. I'll take one more breath in here. And exhale, place your right shin towards the wrists, sinking back into the hips for our pigeon pose. If you have a block, you may want to pop it underneath your right sit bone if it feels a little lifted. Before I fold into my pigeon pose, I like to take my hands behind my head and just release the neck back, the gentle back bend. One more inhale. And exhale, taking the forearms or chest down. Start to consciously slow your breathing down here. Elongating exhalations. See if you can hold the breath at the bottom for a few moments. One more breath in. And exhale, lifting back onto the hands, tuck the left toes, step it back to down dog. Left shin towards the wrists, sink into the hips, pigeon pose. Again, you can pop a block underneath the left sit bone if that feels more supportive. I'm just going to keep my hands behind my head for a couple of breaths. You're welcome to head straight into your fold. I'm going to stay here for one more breath in. And exhale, releasing my chest or forearms down to the mat. Focus on slowing down the breath. And find a place in this pigeon pose where you can really relax into it. So if you find that you're having to fidget, your heart rate or breath rate's getting a little high, maybe just release from the posture a bit. One more breath in. And exhale, lower onto your left sit bone, swing the legs out in front. Walk your heels in so that you can catch the outsides of your feet. We're then going to keep some contact with the belly and the thighs, keeping the chest lifted, shoulders back and down. Now, not losing this contact, I want you to kind of walk your sit bones back, shuffle the heels forwards, so we're heading into a fold, but don't lose that contact here. As soon as the back starts to round or the belly lifts, don't go any further. Just release the head and the neck down. We'll stay like this for one more breath in. And exhale, fully extend the legs. It doesn't matter if we release the feet, you can hold onto the shins. Keep reaching the chest forwards as opposed to reaching your head down towards the knees. Your feet flexed. Settle into your breath. Take one more inhale here. And exhale, releasing back up. Shuffle your hips forwards, making your way onto your back. Coming into a gentle back bend. Walk the heels in so that you can brush them with your fingertips. Try to get the feet hip width and parallel. We'll then tuck the pelvis under, squeeze the glutes, press the hips high. And then interlace the fingers under the body. Really tuck your shoulder blades and upper arms in and press the hips a little higher. Make sure the knees don't flare out or cave in. Keep the knees tracking over ankles. Tucking under the pelvis, squeezing glutes. One more breath in. And exhale, releasing back down, just hugging knees into chest for a few moments, rocking side to side, massaging the lower back. Then we can either repeat the same again or head into your four wheel pose. Taking hands by the sides of the ears, pressing into the hands, reaching the chest to the back. Two more deep breaths here. One more inhale. And exhale, carefully releasing back down. We'll hug our knees into chest again, taking a little rock from side to side. And then releasing the feet down. Cross your right knee over the left. Tip your legs down to the left side. And then kick your left foot up towards the glutes, catching it with your right hand. One more breath in. And exhale, releasing back through center. We'll take the other side. Across your left knee over the right. Tip your legs down to the right side. Kick your right foot up, catching it with the left hand and just looking over the left shoulder. One more breath in here. And exhale, releasing back through center. You can take any movement you like here before heading into Shavasana. I'm going to find a happy baby, holding onto the outsides of the feet. Just finding any movement that you need to get out of the body to find your place of stillness. And whenever you feel ready, start making your way into Shavasana, our final resting pose. Take up lots of space, fully relax the feet out to the side, the palms facing up to the ceiling. And we'll just begin Shavasana with a body awareness meditation, helping the practice sink into our body and our body just melt into our mats. Without moving, bringing all of your awareness and attention to your toes. Really feeling your toes, becoming aware that they're there without moving them. Bring that awareness up through the arches and bridges of the feet. Heels and ankles. Through the shins, calves. The knees, quads, hamstrings, pelvis, glutes, lower belly, lower back, rib cage, mid-back, chest, shoulder blades, collarbones, shoulders, down through the upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms of the hands, down to the fingertips, back up through the neck, the jaw, face, and the crown of the head. Feeling the awareness of your whole body, noticing all the sensations, the weight of the body on the ground, and all the contact points with the body and the ground. And trying to remain in this state of full body awareness for the rest of the practice. If you have the time, you're welcome, and I encourage you to stay here a little longer. If not, thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.